Hello friends, this is Gajendra from Digital Library Pharma. Welcome to the second episode on analytical method validation. In this episode, you will discuss on robustness by applying the quality by design principles. This episode is mainly focused on identifying the critical method parameters. The experimental part, evaluation part, you will discuss on the next episodes. In our previous episode, you discussed on the basics of the method validation and definition of each of these validation parameters. Before jumping into the robustness study design, let's recollect the definition of robustness. The robustness of analytical procedure is a measure of its capacity to remain unaffected by small but deliberate variations in method parameters. It provides an indication of its reliability during normal use. To design robustness by applying the analytical QBD principles, you need to understand the principles of the quality by design. The philosophy of the quality by design is based on the ICH guidelines Q8, Q9 and Q10. In order to plan robustness by applying the quality by design principle, you need to identify the critical method attributes. You call it also as critical method parameters. Critical method parameters are the method parameters which could have impact on performance of the method. In AQBD, these parameters will be identified by applying the quality risk management principles, that is QRM principles. The QRM starts with risk assessment. Risk assessment starts with identification of risk. You need to identify the method parameters which can impact the performance. Example, column, extraction time, temperature, etc. Once you identify the risk, you need to analyze it. What is the risk associated with each of these parameters? What is the probability? What is the detectability and severity? Based on these three principles, we need to analyze each method factor. Then we need to identify what are the critical, what is the high risk, what is the low risk. Once you identify it, you need to evaluate the risk. How? By performing the experiments. Once experiments are done, you need to control the risk. How? By updating the analytical method, by including the control strategy based on the outcome of the robustness study. Let's start with the risk assessment. Risk assessment of analytical method should be done based on the following three principles. One is, what could go wrong with my method? What are the probability it may go wrong? And what are the severities? Based on these three principles, you need to identify the risk associated with the analytical method. The common or popular approaches to identify the risk are Ishikawa, call it as a fishbone diagram, or fault tree analysis, and FMEA approach, that is failure mode effect analysis assessment. In FMEA, you will calculate the risk based on the severity, probability, and detectability. So you need to assign rating of each of these parameters a scale of 1 to 5. After assigning the rating, you need to calculate the risk priority number by multiplying the severity, occurrence and detection. Now you understood the principles of the QRM. So let's identify the critical method parameters for following analytical method. This is the analytical method for a product called XYZ film coated tablets. It is a method for both SA and RS. Detection is by UV at 252 nanometer. Flow rate is 0.5. Runtime about 25 minutes. The sample preparation was both sonation and shaking. And system selected parameters are resolution, repeatability, and also SBN ratio for the LOQ solution. So these are the method. Let's identify. So you need to use one tool. Which tool you can use? We will use Ishikawa. That is fishbone diagram. So this is the fish. So you need to identify the probable causes of failures. So let's go with 5M or 6M. It's a man-machine method. This is the cause associated. So what are the causes related to man can impact the outcome of the analysis? Sonication, shaking and dilution. Mission, your age of column, detector, injector can impact the outcome. With respect to the method, flow rate, column movement temperature, wavelength, injection volume, sample temperature and needle wash can impact your outcome. With respect to the measurement, pH of the buffer, weighing, mobile phase composition, integration, it can impact. With respect to material, purity, grade and storage. With respect to the environment, temperature, light, contamination. So these are the causes can impact your performance of the method. So let's analyze each one of these parameters by applying the FME approach. So let's analyze the parameters related to the man. So man, what can go wrong? Sonication time, shaking time, dilution error can go wrong. So what will impact? The recovery and repeatability of the method will impact due to these errors. So what are the severity? Since it's impacting recovery, the severity is very high. The occurrence is also very high. With respect to detectability, very low for the sonication shaking time, for dilution error, so you can detect it as system suitability parameter involves the similarity factor. So what is the RPN number? It's 100 for both sonication time and shaking time. So they are in high risk zone. With respect to dilution, it is a 40. It's near to medium risk zone, but still in low risk. So these are the number related for the man. For man, you got two critical method parameters: sonication time and shaking time. With respect to the measurement, pH of the buffer can impact our retention time and suppression quality. Weighing will impact our repeatability. Integration also will impact our results. So these are the number associated with the measurement. So pH buffer and mobile phase composition are in high and medium risk zone, and integration and weighing are in low risk zone. With respect to the flow rate, these are the numbers. For method except injection volume, all are in high risk zone. With respect to the material, these are the numbers. So you need to give rating of this parameter based on the method and based on your systems. So these are the numbers. So grade of reagent will play major role. So it is in medium risk. With respect to the mission, column has high severity. Occurrence is also very high. This is the numbers. So for environment, temperature and light, that is solution stability. So these are the impact. So both temperature and light has a very high risk zone. So based on the FME analysis, you need to identify the critical method parameters. These are the critical method parameters for that method. So once identifying the critical method parameter, you need to design your robustness study. So you need to design the range and approach. So one suggestion or one recommendation is anything related to the sample preparation, go for one factor at a time approach. Anything related to instrument, go with the design of experiment approach. So these are the factors. For extraction time, as per method 30 minutes, so you need to do the range at a range of 15 to 45 minutes. For grade of material, you need to do the one factor at a time, so you can justify based on the intermediate precision if you use different grades. And column, it's dependent upon the method to method. If your method has the couplets, that means closely diluted impurities, so do the column by applying the DOE. Otherwise you can follow the OF80, that is one factor at a time. Wavelength, flow rate, column movement temperature, pH buffer, mobile phase, go with the design of experiment approach. So this is the procedure to identify the critical method parameters. Now you identify the critical method parameters. So next is you need to perform the experiment through DOE or OF80, provide the control strategies in the analytical method. So as explained, next episode will be on the robustness. In that episode, we will discuss on the one part at a time approaches, followed by the robustness through DOE. As explained in my previous episode, so very interesting topics are coming in this channel. The current ongoing method validation is a 22 episode, then followed by development 52 episodes, and stability studies and 72 episodes, and QMS investigation 36 episodes. So the episodes will be in a weekly basis. In June, July, every week there is one episode. From August, there is 2 episodes for each week. I hope you liked my video and enjoyed it. If you like it, wait for my next video. Until then, have a good time. Bye.